Welcome back, ladies, to the Women's Empowerment Project. I'm your host, Karen Martel, and today I have the beautiful Arriane Alexander. Arriane is a rock your business coach, which in and of itself just sounds way too cool. She's got over 15 years of massive success in sales and marketing, and also has a degree in spiritual psychology, which we are going to get into. She works with women from all over the world to help them overcome fear, self-doubt, and any other obstacles standing in their way of creating an amazing life and business. Welcome, Arriane.
Hi, Karen. I'm so glad to be here.
It's glad to have you.
Thanks.
Way down there in LA. We were just discussing we're on total opposite ends here.
Yes.
I'm up in Canada. She's down in LA. And your
Yes.
weather, I'm sure, is a lot nicer than mine is right now.
Sunny and beautiful as always.
Yes.
Don't hate
So,
me.
I still have, when I saw it at my house this morning, I still have one piece of snow spot in my yard. Like it's like this big, but it's there. And I'm like,
gosh.
just go already.
Oh my gosh,
So,
amazing.
I know. So tell me a little bit about yourself here for those that don't know you. You wear many different hats as far as careers go. And I really want to get into this, balancing of business and spirituality and how we can kind of integrate those two worlds. But how do you do it?
Yeah, it's such a good question because I don't have a typical life where in my past life, I was in the fashion business for over a decade and I worked in sales and marketing for one company. I knew what my job was. I, had an amazing career in the fashion business, and I walked away from that cold turkey in 2007, not knowing what was next. I had gotten my master's degree in spiritual psychology, and then I was just so unhappy in my career. And I knew I had a purpose bigger than that it just wasn't fulfilling. But
just back that up. What made you go do a master's of spiritual psychology?
Yeah.
Did something trigger that?
It was so interesting because I had been working in this career for so long and I was just so unhappy and I just was always looking for a way out. And then I always saw these ads for this program in spiritual psychology. And I always thought if I went back to grad school, it would definitely be for psychology. And then it was spiritual psychology. And I was like, what's that? I've never even heard of that, but that sounds fascinating. And then one of my best friends ended up going. One day we were at lunch and she's like, I'm going to go get my master's degree in spiritual psychology. And I was like, what? I was like, you're going to that program at University of Santa Monica? And she said, yeah. And I said, well, I have to go because I knew if she went and she was telling me how amazing it was, I'd be so jealous. So I was like, well, I'm going too. I mean, literally it was like that. And so I signed up the next day, but what it was just a calling. It was like I was called there because I really didn't know what it was, but I just knew it just sounded amazing. And so I was like, I'm going to do this. I don't know what this is, but I have always been wanting to pair those two of searching for this, purpose in life. I knew that I had a bigger purpose than what I was living. And through that master's program, and since then, and I've been involved in this work now for 17 years, through this work, I literally went through the 2-year program. I graduated in 2006. 2 months after I graduated, I gave my notice at my company. I gave them 6 months notice. And I said, I'm complete with this. I'm moving on. And I left because by that time I had stripped away a lot of fears and doubts about myself and really was trusting that Spirit's guidance would show me what was next. And I knew I had to leave my career, but I didn't know what was next. I literally walked away cold turkey. I jumped off the ledge. I did the scariest thing you could ever do. I had a 6-figure income. By the time I was 25, I was making 6 figures. I had an amazing career. And then, at 30, whatever I was, I walked away. I was like,
oh my
buy
goodness.
Paycheck, buy insurance, buy 6 figures, buy travel, whatever. It was amazing. And I was like, see ya.
See, going to school for those kinds of things, it's really for us, isn't it? We learn, yes, we want to teach it to others, but the transformation that we go through during that process. I went to school to be a rolfer 17 years ago.
Yeah.
And I remember going through that schooling, crying every day. I was having these big, huge things, epiphanies, and the whole spiritual part of getting myself through that was just in and of itself was mind blowing. And then I could go out and teach it to others, but going through those going through the school is a huge learning process for ourselves
Oh yeah,
spiritually.
definitely. Like I never had any intention of, I mean, I always look at my life and I go, okay, now I live in Los Angeles. I work as a business coach, a professional business and life coach. I work with people in creating, and we'll talk about this, but like
Hmm.
creating media and videos and for online for their social media. I work as an actor. Like I'm on TV shows all the time. I work as a TV host. Like I would never, if you would have told me 10 years ago, oh, this will be your life, I'd be like, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
There's like, what are you talking about? But what happened was when I started going through these programs, like you say, they're for yourself. So I went to my master's program in spiritual psychology, having no intention of being a coach or
Right.
anything. I wasn't even working as an actor at that time. Like I was in sales and marketing in a corporate career. So, but I went there, and through the work of personal development for so many years, it's just the more authentic me keeps coming out, the true Ariane, what I desire, what I want to do, how I want to serve. And that's the biggest thing that's come through all my years of personal development is how can I serve? Is really how do I use the gifts and talents that I have that are unique to me and serve others and teach others and help them with what they need. Like, what's your problem? Let me help you with your problem. What's your challenge? Okay, I can help you with that. And maybe I can't, but that's how I roll now is how can I serve? And the more I continue to stay in that space and ask that question and let life show me, the more it continues to show up.
And is that spiritual psychology?
Yeah, well, it's yes, definitely. The actual, yes, it's part of it because it's really getting outside of my judgments of myself and others in order to be in alignment with what life, spirit, God, universe, sunshine, whatever you want to call it, is here to flow through me. So,
Right.
the essence of spiritual psychology is that most people walk around the planet believing that we're humans here and then we're going to go have this spiritual experience. And right, like the old like paradigms are like, you die and then you go to heaven. And so it's like, oh, we're humans having this human experience and then we go to heaven and then we have this spiritual experience. But the work of spiritual psychology flips that. And it's, this isn't like new, like this is, a lot of people teach this, but it's really that we're spiritual beings having a human experience. So
Yes.
so this human form is for me to grow, for my soul to explore, to grow, to like have challenges, to overcome challenges, to heal things, to lift into more of the loving that I already am. So that's the core of spiritual psychology. Is like, we already are the loving. Like I already am full, whole, complete, loving, but as a human, like I forget that sometimes.
Yeah.
And so the work of spiritual psychology is kind of always coming back to that place of releasing judgments on myself and others and really living in the space of truth and loving and forgiveness for myself and others.
Yeah, I've always said that. I just said my core belief after all the stuff that I've read, I've always been into spirituality, is we're here to learn. We're here to learn and to love. That's what I've always believed to my core is it's not an easy journey, but that's because we need to learn. We need to get
Yeah.
through these things. And if we don't learn it now, my belief is we'll probably come back and have to learn the lesson again because we didn't
Yeah.
learn it the first time or have the lesson brought to us again.
Totally. And you can see how that shows up in your life. Oh, sorry, I just bumped this. I have a weird, do you hear that?
Nope.
I have a weird like echo over here, but that's okay. So what happens in life is that I'm sure you've seen this, that when you don't learn a lesson, it just keeps coming back. So
Oh God, yeah.
let's say my soul is here to learn the lesson of patience. And do I just have a life of patience of like nothing ever riles me and like traffic's always amazing and I'm fine with lines and that's not how it goes. If I'm here
No.
to learn the lessons of patience, I'm going to be given all of these experiences where I might get impatient so that I can learn to release that and learn to see the experience differently and be different inside myself so that I learn patience. So I experience patience.
Yes.
You
And
see, and if I don't learn that, right,
yes.
it's going to happen over and over and over again until I get it.
Yeah. I remember my biggest lesson on that one was with men, probably about 10,
Yep.
12 years ago. And in my whole life, I had just attracted the same experience over and
Uh-huh.
over and over again in relationships. And they weren't good. And they always left in heartbreak or, whatever it was, being mistreated, disrespected. And finally had like the big one where it was like the love of my life. It ended on my kitchen floor in tears, couldn't get up with my daughter, who was at the time 1, next to me. And I thought, that's it. I'm done. I have to learn from this because I'm not, and it's going to keep happening to me if I don't go heal myself. And I went on this, like, from that day for a 2-year experience of like diving deep, healing my wounds, and actually ended up marrying the man. I'm still married to him. And he came back after 2 years of me on my journey of healing, and he went on his. I know.
That's amazing.
But I learned it.
That's amazing. You both went off and like learned your stuff and then could come back together, which it doesn't usually work that way. Usually you have to be a different person. So that's really amazing.
I know.
What a great, I mean, that experience is perfect because everyone's dated and everyone's been in a relationship. So, you know, how many times do you hear this? Like I've dated the same person, basically just put a different face on him. Yes. And it's because you're still learning. You haven't like got it yet. And not that we're ever failing if we don't get it, because I feel like sometimes I'm still just like, might not get it in this lifetime. And like, that's okay. Yeah. But just knowing and acknowledging that all these things that come in to rile us up, to upset us, they're not bad. They're here to show me something. They're here to, you know, it's how I work with my clients all the time. It's like, nothing's bad. It's not here again. Life isn't against you. Life is for you. Yeah. It's giving you this opportunity and this gift. I mean, my clients probably hate it when I say this, but because I'm always like, something bad will happen. And they'll be like, it's like a Christmas gift. And they're like, it's not a Christmas gift. It's horrible. And I'm like, but
don't be positive.
Stop it. It's awful. But it's life. It's spirit going, hi, here's a Christmas gift. If you'll unwrap it and really look at it, you're going to get a big nugget out of it. Like you did in your relationship.
Yes. And do you find too, that if I always say to people, if you don't get it the first time and you don't learn and it continues to happen that way, then it gets worse. Like, it's like, if you're not listening, life is going to, you're not going to listen to life. God, whoever it is going to come around and slap you upside the head next time with something that's so harsh, not to scare anybody, but like in my situation where it was so bad, it was like the worst heartbreak of my entire life because I hadn't listened for so long. It was like life had to say, okay, Karen, here it is. You're going to listen now.
Yeah.
Bang.
They're true.
And I see that happen.
True.
Yeah.
It's 100% true because I always laugh. I say like life like knocks 3 times. It taps.
Yes.
It taps you. And what you just said is perfect. Like it taps you twice and then it whips you upside the head. So perfect example of this is, and because anyone who's listening to this interview can relate in somehow, because we've all had these experiences where we're like, no, it's fine. No, it's fine. No, it's fine. And then wham, it's not fine. And I see this show up like with people's work when they're like not happy with what they're doing. And so many of, people listening you might be in a career or a job that you're not happy in, but you don't have the courage to find something else or to take that step out of the career that you're not happy in. So what happens? People get fired. And they go, oh, that's bad. But is it? You weren't happy in the job anyway. You just didn't have the courage yet to leave. So life is like, hi, we're just going to push you out. How about that? And then you're going to figure it out. So that's, I see that show up. And same thing with relationships. How many women and men stay in relationships way past the expiration date? And I get it, because comfort and security and whatever we think is important. And then the person like breaks up with us and we're like, why? How did that happen? And I'm like, but you were really unhappy anyway. So it's not really a bad thing.
Oh, it happens all the time to my clients like that. Exactly like that. Right. So let's talk about that. Like let's say there's somebody's listening, guaranteed, that doesn't like their job, that doesn't like where they are financially. Mm-hmm. How does somebody get the courage? Because that's the thing, is we get so stuck in life where we're so afraid. And like you said, you took the jump off the deep end. I've had to take a few of those jumps myself career-wise. They're always super scary.
Yeah, super
scary. Super scary. But usually if you're following your gut, I remember going into my nutrition program. I'd been a rolfer for 16 years and my hands were quitting on me. And I'd wanted to be a nutritionist for 20 years. And I just kept having the excuses of, here, I've got this amazing business going. It's going great. Why would I ever stop it? I liked what I did. but I loved the nutrition piece so much more. And
Mm.
it just kept calling to me, and my hands got worse and worse and worse till I couldn't physically do it. And I was forced out of my career. And I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do.
Wow.
All I know is I have to be a nutritionist, and I don't know what's going to happen, but this is but nobody around me being a nutritionist was making any money or was successful. So I was always so afraid to make that jump. And I was like, I just have to do it. And I jumped, and it's been amazing. But tell us.
Oh, I love that. I love that. What a perfect example of what we're speaking of. And so I see this with clients all the time. I mean, this is why I'm a coach, because what happens is, let me think of a client. So I have a client in Chicago, and she's amazing. She's a very, very successful real estate agent. And so she wants to learn. She's like, okay, I know I need to use videos for social media and really get out there in a new way with my real estate business. Cause like all the young whippersnappers, they know how to use social media and really present themselves well and build relationships and an audience from that. So that's what I work with a lot of clients on, is like understanding how to use media to your advantage. And especially this platform of video, because this is what I get excited about, is how to actually use this right in a powerful way, because it's so underutilized right now and it's so necessary for any business that you have. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, okay, great. So we're going to start, like I teach her how to do videos basically. And I'm like, just do one video, right? Just do one video for Instagram. What does she not do? One video. And this is so common. Like I can name any client and this happens, because what happens is, as adults, we start to desire this thing. I want to do this thing. And this can be applied to anything in your life that you desire, whether you say like it's your job or it's your finances or relationship or losing weight and like getting more fit, whatever it is. Here's what happens. We go, okay, I'm going to do videos for social media, and I'm going to do this. And yes, I'm going to do this for my business. And then because I know that I can serve more people, like, it's like, why do you want to do this? Because I can serve more people. I can reach and, make a difference to a wider audience so I can really help people. Okay. So when we desire that and we start to move towards it, the minute we take a step towards it, our beautiful egos that support us in so many powerful ways come in and go, oh, no, you didn't. Oh, no, you didn't. Red alert, danger zone. You're outside the norm. You're outside the comfort zone. Come back, come back, come back. So everything in our system, we don't even know it's happening, but everything is going off saying, no, don't change. Don't do that thing that you're scared to do, because we're designed as humans to stay safe. We want to stay safe. So if I'm in my comfort zone and in my wheelhouse, I'm good, right? But when I start to go outside of it, it's out of my comfort zone. I'm stretching. I'm moving past what my ego understands and knows. I'm moving into unknown. And the ego does not like that. So what happens? You get distracted. You get super busy. You get, right? Like, oh, I have all these things to do. Your car, right? Your car breaks down. Like you hurt your foot. You like, whatever it is, like, life's like, haha, we're going to like give you every distraction possible so that you can't focus on this thing that you really desire. So even knowing that, and this is again why people coach with me, this is why I coach, because I know this is going to happen. Like this doesn't not happen. Like it never doesn't happen. Like it's guaranteed to happen, because as you move, you've got to get your whole system in alignment with that move of that change. But if you're not in alignment emotionally, mentally, spiritually, in physical world action, you're not going to move. You're going to get pulled back to the old ways, the old comfort zone. So look at it. Perfect example is when people lose weight quickly. What happens?
Yes.
I mean, we all know this. You go on a diet for 30 days and you're like, oh, I lost 5 pounds. And what happens? In 15 days, you got those 5 pounds back on. And people are like, oh yeah, what happened? Because your whole system isn't in alignment for that change. So you can create a little bit of change, but you can't sustain it unless you understand how to get your system in alignment. So how you actually get your whole system in alignment is you understand that this is happening. You understand that this ego is going to try to pull you back, that the distractions are coming in. They're not real distractions. They're designed to keep you safe. So it's your job to go. So like with my client, it's her job to go, my job to coach her to go, what's actually happening here? And what's underneath this resistance? What's the actual fear? And generally, when we go beneath what's actually happening, the fear is like, take an example for video, since I coach you on video so much. I'm not going to be good enough. Mm-hmm. If I do a video, I'm not going to be good enough. If I do a video, I'm not going to be perfect. if I do a video, what are people going to say about me?
Yeah, I was going to say, what are people going to think? That's
Right?
always the
What are
tough
people going
one.
to think? So again, you can relate this to every aspect of life. Those thoughts right there, I'm not good enough. I'm not going to do it perfect or right. What are people going to think of me? I'm not worthy to have this thing I desire. I don't deserve this thing I desire. Those thoughts and beliefs are basically underneath all of your resistance, all of your fears. That's what it drills down to, basically. So knowing that, again, it can help you understand that you're not crazy. You're not a loser.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have this magic power to just roll through life, making these changes. But then you can start working on those beliefs of, oh, so my client, for example, it'd be like, what's the actual fear? Like, I'm not going to be good enough when I shoot this video. And so when we can really address that and start to heal that and release that and shift it into something more empowering, then she can move forward in the video. But really, until we address that, we're stuck in anything in life. So to heal that, it's really like I forgive myself for buying into the belief that I'm not good enough. Because when you just sit with that thought, like even with a video, like I won't be good enough. Is it true? Like, what's good enough? What does that even mean? With anything in life, what does good enough even mean? And whose barometer is it that's good enough?
Yeah.
Right? It's only you. It's only ever you. So if I go and if I'm willing to be in the learning curve of life and willing, like, again, coming back to videos, if I'm willing to be in a learning curve, am I willing to be in a learning curve and know that, yeah, my videos might not look like whatever, Marie Forleo, who's got like the the best videos on the planet, but she's been doing it a long time and she has a production team. Like, if I can really, I call it dare to suck, to be in the learning curve of like learning new things and trying it and being willing to fail, then I'm fine. But if I'm still like, I'm not going to be good enough, then I'm not going to move forward.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. Oh, I love it. What's another example of this with, let's say, a career change or money? Everybody's financially, I feel like women are very stuck financially, a lot of them. Career
Yeah.
wise, that fear of making those steps forward. You said fear of what other people are going to think or failure. I mean, I had them, you had them, but yet we still took that step. Could you give us another example of that alignment that could happen that could help somebody to move forward?
Yeah, because I really think, and I hear you, that fear of failure, that just these fears that like lock us in, and that fear to move forward. So here's the other thing with change, let's call it, with actually moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
You can't change unless okay, for example, I saw this little girl, I was at the beach yesterday, and this little girl is like riding her bike with training wheels, and she's got like sparklers in her hair and like sparklers on her bike. It's all decorated, like they made a big deal out of her and her training wheels. And she's like, Mom, I'm fine, I don't need your help. And she's like trucking along with her little training wheels, and I'm like, oh my God, this is so cute, amazing, good job. And I'm laughing because I'm like, because she has on training wheels. So she's taking action. She didn't know how to ride a bike, but she got on a bike with some training wheels and she took action. She probably fell a few times, as we all did, learning how to ride it. She probably fall a few times when the training wheels goes off, right? But like, she'll get it. Eventually she'll get how to ride a bike. It's the same thing as adults, as your job, as your career, as your finances, whatever. You've got to take those first steps. You got to put some training wheels on and go for it. And then at some point, take the training wheels off. You have to take action. And then you'll get feedback from life. So the little girl's on her bike and she takes the training wheels off and she's taking action. She doesn't know how to do it yet, but she's riding that bike and like she's going to fall. So then her mind's going to go, okay, well, how do I not do that next time? How do I not fall? Oh, I need to balance better on both feet. Oh, I need to like look straight ahead, whatever it is. She's going to figure it out because she's taking action. And again, this is where kids rock because they're just like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm going to do it. Sure. What do you want me to do? I'll do it. Because they don't have this locked in of like, I have to do it good enough. I have to do it perfect. It has to be right. So the only way we can move forward in financial goals or like career goals or whatever it is we have to take physical world action and lean into it. We can't just pray it away. Like it doesn't work. You have to like meet life. You have to go, okay, what is this scary thing? So if you're in a career that you aren't happy in, let's say, that you want to, that there's something else out there for you, what is one step, one thing you can do to lean in to moving in a new direction? but it has to be a courageous action step. It can't be something that you're
Oh,
like, that's
yes.
easy. Like it has to get you out of your comfort zone. So what's the one thing, if you're sitting there and like you want to be you want to be a nutrition coach, you want to be a primal health coach, you want to go to IAN, whatever it is, there's something else for you. Then maybe your courageous action step is to call those businesses, those coaching companies, whatever it is, and go, hi, what's the information on your program?
Yeah.
How do I get started? Like, how much would that be? So at least you're getting in the energy of the possibilities.
Yeah.
And then maybe you sign up for a program. I mean, that's really taking a step, So you're not like leaving your job yet, but you're taking a very courageous action step towards the direction of what you want to do. And then life will immediately give you course corrective feedback.
Yes.
And then you'll see what's next.
Yeah. And it's like you're planting the seed. It's like you just plant the seed by just checking out the schools or checking out, go online and see what jobs there are out there and what you've always wanted to do, or what would schooling look like if you had to go back to school for this different career or to make more money, and where maybe just check out different investment opportunities. Just check it out. That's it. Don't go so far down the road like, but I couldn't do this because my kids and my husband, and you have all these excuses as to why this could never work out in your life right now. Don't even go there. Instead, just take that one step.
Yes.
Because that alone will drop so much of the fear. And looking at the fear as just that, I try and separate myself from it, and I'll try and just say, like, I remember doing my Facebook videos for the first time and feeling all the things that you just talked about, and having to just be like, okay, so this is fear over here. And that's all it is. It's there to protect me. It's an okay feeling to have. But it's just a fear. And once I get past it, I won't have it anymore. And I just try and like take the emotion out of it somehow and just kind of like put it over here.
It's so smart. And I love that you say that about separating out the fear, because it is the fear. The fear is in front of you. It's not actually happening in this moment, because the fear is a projected future fantasy. So if I'm afraid to go, and Facebook Live is the perfect example, because who isn't afraid to go on Facebook Live? I mean, like, I'm a video expert and I'm still afraid to go on Facebook Live.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, not really, I'm fine. But I do. I'm like, is my hair okay? Whatever it is, I mean, I have my resistance as well, but that's the difference, is I just do it. I'm like, because I just know the fear. Like, one of my teachers used to always say to me, the fear is always going to be there.
Yeah.
Walk through the fear anyway. So when I got that, because I was like, so I see clients that will want to wait for the fear to go away, and then I'll do the thing. And I go, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't go away. You might always have the fear, whatever you're doing, but you just walk through the fear anyway. And then it just gets less and less. And then you're like, oh, well, there's that fear chatter voice, but it's not really real. It's a projected fantasy, because what's the actual fear? I'm going to turn on a Facebook Live video and like everyone's going to scream, crying, running the other way. Like my mom's going to be like, what are you doing on video? That's horrible. You should never do that again. Like, what am I actually afraid of?
Mm-hmm.
When we can get clear too, and like, what am I actually afraid of? When we can say it, it's usually nothing. It's like, what are you actually afraid of would happen? Like for you, like, for example, like, what are you actually afraid of on Facebook Live?
Yeah, I was always afraid of the people that I went to school with that were in my city that didn't know I was even a nutritionist, and that maybe hasn't seen me in however long, or even my friends, and they would see me. And that was my fear. And then I had to think it through and be like, so what? So maybe they think like, oh, what is she even talking about? And they'll keep going along their feed, and they'll just ignore it, or they'll listen to it. And what do I care if they don't like what I have to say? That's what my final conclusion was, do I actually care what these people think? No.
Yeah, it's huge. That what you said is so, I hear that all the time, that people are like, oh, I'm afraid of these people from like high school. Like, what are they going to think of me? And I'm like,
hello.
I'm like, well, yeah, hey, why do you care? But also it's that thing, because it's not the people from high school. It's you judging you. It's always us judging ourselves. It's like, we want to pretend it's people from high school, but it's me judging myself, that I won't be good enough, that won't have anything to say. So again, I'm always like, let's turn it around to self. What am I judging on self? What am I believing about self? But I love how you were able to turn that around into, I don't really care what anybody thinks. And I love what you said too, is they're going to keep scrolling. Because here's the deal. We're narcissistic. All of us. I'm far too busy thinking about myself than to think much about your Facebook Live video. Let's
I'm
be
not
clear,
that important. Yeah.
right? Like none of us are like, oh my God. Like I'm not like, oh my God, she did like none of us, it doesn't, I'm like, here I
No.
am checking my phone and I'm like, oh, that's interesting, that's interesting. And then the phone rings and I'm on it. Like we're busy. Like we're all narcissistic. We all have busy lives. Like we're not actually thinking too much about other people, except for
No.
like our immediate family. So when we can get this too of like moving forward in careers, moving forward in, social media, whatever it is, it's like, you get to just do it because nobody's actually paying that much attention to you.
No, they're really not. And it is
It's funny, right?
it is really funny. And it's about following the thought through. And that's what you have to do when you're
Yeah.
fearing something. Keep going. Don't we
Yeah.
always just stop at the actual fear of, oh my God, what are people going to think? Okay, well,
Yeah.
take that thought to okay, then so what? So what? They think you look like a loser or whatever. Does it matter?
Yeah.
There's going to be way more people that probably appreciate what you have to say than not appreciate it in most
Yes.
cases.
Yes. And that is what you just said is so huge because this is what I'm always, I have a coaching program for my videos that's called Lights, Camera, Action, How to Get Over Yourself and Do Video Already.
I love
Right.
it.
Right. Because that's what it is. Because what we're talking about is like, oh, I'm so in my fears. I'm so in my thing. And I'm like, you got to get over yourself because when your message is bigger than your fear, you'll do the thing, whatever it is. And that's, the metaphor right now is using videos. So when you're in that, you have to have your message be bigger than your fear. So whatever it is that you do in life, again, you're a health coach or you're a primal health coach or you're a life coach or you're a real estate agent or you're a business person or whatever it is, you have a message, you have an important thing to say and to share in your life, whatever that is. And when you let that be what drives you, you'll do the things that you're scared to do.
Yes. Yeah. And do you find in your own life now that when you look back over the last, what did you say? It's been 20 years since you made that big leap of putting
Well,
your
I left my career like 12 years ago, I think.
12. Okay. So for
Yeah.
the last 12 years, do you find it's like when you conquer fears now or fears come up, is it kind of almost like a game now? It's like, oh, really? Oh, yeah, come on, come and get me if you want. But no, I'm going to get you actually. Like, do you feel like that where it's like you can just take it on now? Easier and
No,
easier? No,
no,
you don't. Oh,
no.
I
God, no.
do.
Really? That's so great. I'm like, awesome. No, I mean, I think it comes up. And I'm trying to think of an example of where it shows up in my life now. So for instance, right now, well, for me, it's always building my business of like, how do I,
Yeah.
reach a wider audience? And so for like my group coaching program, I go, okay, I need like webinars. I need to understand that, how to people to watch a webinar that's really has all this value in it that can lead them to the next step, which is possibly working with me. And so for me, it's like there's so much technical back end and then like creating a webinar. And I'm like, it all seems like so much work and it seems so hard and it seems so like big. So that's where like I don't go, oh, that's amazing, I'm going to do it. I go, what's my fear? I just start there. I go, what's my actual resistance? It's not that I can figure it out. Like I'm a smart girl. Like I can do this. I can figure out the technical, I already have figured out the technical back end. I just haven't sat down to like shoot the webinar. So because I'm like, I'm afraid it won't be good enough. So I understand these fears because I go through it too. Like I'm not Superwoman. Like I have fears too of like, oh, I can hop on video, a live video, no problem. Insta story, like no big deal. I've got that now. But when it comes to something like this, I'm like, oh, I haven't really done it. And like, I'm afraid it won't be good enough. And like what I do with my clients is I go, you know what? It's not going to be good enough. Like it's not going to be great because it's my first time doing it. So can I be in the learning? So I do with myself exactly what I do with clients. Can I just be in
No,
the learning curve? Don't get it right. Just get it done.
no, that's what I mean though. You are a fear slayer because you
Oh, thanks.
instantly, because I'm not saying do not have fear. I'm saying now when fear comes up, you've got this process of like,
Yes.
okay, what am I afraid of here? And you do it. You think it through.
Yes.
You're like, okay, what's my worst fear? What's the worst outcome that could happen here? And now we're just going to go ahead and we're going to just do it.
Yes.
And so you're a fear slayer. And
Okay,
that's
good.
what I mean. That's where I'm at too, where I
Yeah.
just am like, okay, what's the worst case scenario? All right, now, okay, let's just do it then, because that's not really that bad.
Totally. Right. It's like, what's going to happen? Here's a perfect, thank you for that. And it is, I am a fear slayer because
You are a
I
fear slayer.
I have a funny story. So I work as an actor too on television shows. That's like my super fun creative work. And I'm very blessed to have an amazing career in the television world. And so I was at this huge event on just this last weekend for the show Blackish for ABC.
Oh, yeah.
And because I'm a member of the television academy, which is the Emmy Academy, basically. So I get to vote on the Emmys. Like I get to vote. It's like this huge honor. Like I get to vote on the Emmy Awards, which is crazy.
Amazing.
And so fun, right? Yeah. So then they have all these cool events for all the TV shows. So I'm at the TV show for the event for Blackish. And like the creators there, Kenya Barris, and the stars are there, Tracy Ellis Ross and Anthony Anderson. And so they have this big event, and afterwards, like all the stars are outside and kind of doing meet and greets and taking pictures. And here's me. I'm like, who am I? I'm like, I trot up to Anthony Anderson, the creator of the show, and I was like, hi, I'm Arriane Alexander, and your show is amazing, and I watch it every week, and and I was like, and I'm going to be on your show someday, because I love your show so much, like, I'm going to book it. And he was like, all right. And then I trot up to Kenya Barris, creator of that show and so many other amazing shows. And I was like, hi, I'm Arriane Alexander. I'm like, your shows are amazing. I love your message. I'm going to be on your show someday. Because he was like, I love your intention. And I was like, I know, me too. And I'm just laughing because I'm like, who am I? Like, I don't know where, like, because I wouldn't have done that, like, even a year ago. I would have been like, yes, I don't know. What are they going to think of me? Whatever. And now I'm like, what do I care? Like, how am I going to build relationships unless I actually, like, do something? Unless I actually say hello to someone. I'm not going to build a relationship by being scared in the corner. And so so I have this fear within me but it's also grown through, because I wouldn't have done it a year ago, but it's grown over time. Like, I think as I get older and I just, as you do, as I do more things that are scary, I get less scared, because I'm like, who cares? What are these people going to do? They're not thinking about me. They're going to be like, okay, we'll see you on set someday or not. And then they're on to the next thing. Like, this is not a big deal.
No, yeah. Al and I were talking about that before, when we started to try and decide who we wanted to come talk for this women's empowerment series. And, we're naming a bunch of people that we both know and we've interviewed before, which were all great people, of course. And we have a lot of them coming on, yourself included. And then I was like, okay, you know who I'm going to ask? Ayenla. I can't even remember. I don't know.
Ayenla Van Zandt.
Yeah. And I was like, I'm going to ask her. And then Elle's like, oh, I like where you're going with this. What does it hurt to ask, right? She's like, always, doesn't hurt to ask. And then we went up to like the next level, and we started to be like, okay, who could we ask? And we started to try and get these like bigger names, which I don't think we actually got too many. We got a couple that were the people that we felt were going above, like you did with the people at the party. It was like, whatever, let's just ask. Come on.
I love that, right? Somebody's going to say yes.
Somebody's going to say yes. And it's always surprising who does at some points, where it's like, holy, that person just said yes.
I love that. Ayanla went to the same graduate program I did, the spiritual psychology school.
Oh, see, maybe you should just hook me up with her then.
Right. If I knew her, I would. I don't actually know her, but I totally would.
One of the guys one of them, I'll tell you, because this is actually a cool story of kind of a law of attraction, kind of just believing. I don't know what it is, but this was cool. Is I kept thinking of, who do I want that could come talk on the relationship part of it about soulmates. And I for some reason that kept popping into my head, because I remember reading the book about 20 years ago, Soulmates by Thomas More. And I couldn't even remember what it was about, but I remember I loved it. And so every time I thought of who could I come get, I would get the vision of the front of the book. And I mean, he was just on with Oprah Winfrey, like last year on Super Soul Sunday.
Nice.
And so every time I kept thinking of it, this picture would come in my head, and I was like, I'm going to seek them out. So I went online, and sure enough, there's a contact form. So I'm like, why not? Thinking, I doubt this will work. Send him an email. Literally 2 hours later, I get an email back, and he said, Karen, I would absolutely love to come talk to you. I've spent my whole life trying to empower women. I would love to do this.
Oh my gosh, I love this. Somebody said yes.
Somebody said yes.
Just keep asking.
Yes. So the point of our whole story is to obviously, face your fears, right? And it's and yes, far harder, easier said than done, isn't it? But it gets easier.
It's easier said than done, but this is where when you start taking courageous action steps, you have to have a support system, because it's really hard to do it on your own. It's really, really hard to do it on your own. So this is why you have a coach. Like, you hire a coach, or you have a friend who's your accountability partner, or you join an online mastermind of some sort, or you
Yeah.
create a mastermind of some sort. But it's really important as you desire to create something new in your life, whether it's a career or a new relationship or getting fit or whatever it is, or making more money, you really have to have a support system in order to move forward. So that's what is imperative, to find that
Yeah.
somehow.
And there really is somebody for everything now. I mean, if
Yeah.
you just want to go, I just did a big membership course, and the people that are the kind of memberships that are out there right now is like, some people were like, memberships for people that like to be in dog shows, and people that like to quilt, and people that want to make hula hoops,
Wow.
memberships. Like, there is something, a coach, a course,
Yeah.
for every single thing that you've probably ever wanted to do, no matter how small or niched out it really is. There's something, and there's somebody, or there's a Facebook group or something that will support you on this path. But you're right, support is something that I think is very overlooked, because we just think we're going to do it all ourselves.
It's too hard. I mean, I see it with my clients. It's like, and I see it with myself. I rely on my friends and my coaches in
Mm-hmm.
order to, and I'm in masterminds, all kinds of different masterminds, because it's like, on my own, I'm going to get distracted. I'm going to let those distractions take me out of what I really want to focus on.
Yeah.
So, that's where I really encourage you to find a tribe, however you find that tribe, because the momentum of a tribe is more powerful than just you. Like,
Yeah.
you see, like when you're, if you're floating down the river, if you got a tribe with you, you're going to go quicker versus if you're just by yourself, trying to figure it all out,
Yeah.
so you want to have that tribe. And that's where online, you're, like you say, there's every resource available for whatever it is that you want to create or do. It's just a Google away.
Yes. And staying accountable. I think my most successful clients in my business for weight loss or for health issues, it's the ones that continue to come back to get the coaching, to stay accountable, that get the biggest success.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
So what do you have for us then? What do you
Oh my
do? Who
gosh. I have so
I
many
think
things.
everybody should come to you for whatever
I have so
problems
many
they have.
things. Yeah, I really focus on, I call myself a rock your business coach. So I really focus
Yes.
on the business aspect with my clients, which it's business and life, but I'm really only work with clients who were creating something interesting and cool in their business. And that's, anytime I work with clients all over the world with all kinds of different businesses. So whatever your desire is to create in your business, I love to help you create a strategy of how you're going to get from here to there, and then figuring out, the steps involved, and then doing all the inner work necessary to get you from point A to point B,
Which
because
is
all that
huge.
resistance and fear, right, it's all going to come up once you really start going for this thing you desire. So that's what I get really excited about working with clients. And then, like we've talked about, I have a whole video, my lights, camera, action group coaching programs, and I do VIP for that as well. So I help clients produce videos. I have virtual clients all over the world where I actually work with them and how to create their videos for social media and for their website. So I love that, because I love all things media, of helping you figure out, how do you structure a video? What do you say on your video? How do you intro yourself on your video? How do you look good on camera? We do a whole, things on hair and makeup for camera, what you wear, colors to wear. There's so many little things involved. How do you warm it up to camera? Here's one of my pet peeves is, I promise you, like, this is my mission. This is my mission in life right now, to stop people from saying, hey, you guys, I just want you guys to know today I'm going to talk about macros, because you guys have all been asking me, because you guys are amazing and you guys are awesome. And I'm like, who are you guys? Like, who are these guys? I mean, because I'm laughing, because all these coaches that I'm hearing say this, they're basically talking to women anyway. So I'm like, okay,
Well,
A,
that's it. Yeah.
right? Like, A, there's no guys that you're talking to. And B, it's not plural. Who's on the other end of the phone watching your video? One person.
One person.
One. That's it. There's no guys. There's not a group of guys. There's not a group of gals. It's one person watching your sweet video on the other end of your phone. And you keep saying you guys. And I keep going,
Where's the guys?
and it makes me insane, because I'm like, stop it. Because you're basically, what it is you're not connecting with the person on the other end. When you address me, when I address you as one person, when I'm speaking directly to you, you're going to feel it. And that's what everybody says when they watch my videos. They go, God, I felt like you were talking to me. And I say, yeah, because I am.
Yeah.
That you're right. I am talking to you, and it comes across in video. So there's a whole, I've done this for so long that I have a whole, obviously, system. This is my lights, camera, action, how to get over yourself and do videos already, that takes you through all of this about how to really create powerful videos that make an impact on your audience. And it's so fun. It's so fun.
It's so big, because I know that it took me, like, if I had known about someone like you a good 2 years ago, I could have used you, because it takes a long time, and it doesn't matter what business you're in. Doing live videos should be part of it. I believe that. 100%. I'm sure you do too. So learning how to do it right from the get-go, you're going to feel a heck of a lot more confident going out there and doing it.
Yeah.
Right. When you got somebody like Arriane here telling you what to do and not to say, hey guys, I'm going through my head going, have I said that before? But I haven't.
Like I do, but it's hard to catch, yeah.
It's the tone of your voice that I love, because that's what bugs me more than anything. Hey guys.
Hey guys. I'm like,
I definitely say, hey ladies, because I'm always speaking to ladies, and I know that. And I do use the plural form, because I'm always talking to groups, even if they're all by themselves. It's a group of, like, whatever, 100 women in my program, or so I say, hey ladies. But I have been told that one lady said, I feel like you're sitting in my living room with me talking to me. So I'm clearly, I'm doing something right.
It's great.
Yes. If you're starting out in business, or you've been in it for a while and you're afraid, definitely take the course, because and you have a free little freebie, don't you?
Start with my download. Yeah, I have an awesome, I have a download that's called 9 Steps to Rock Your Videos. And it's you'll put this in the show notes, but it's www.videoactionguide.com. So just videoactionguide.com. You'll get 9 Steps to Rock Your Videos. It's an awesome download. You will learn so much. I mean, these are the things that I do every time before I turn on the camera. And it's such a powerful tool just to help you build confidence. And then when you sign up for that, you'll get that immediately. And then each day I send you, for like a week, I send you another tool for your toolkit. I send you a video or a value add that's going to help you really, really get your arms wrapped around this video space, because I love it. I know the power of video. It is huge. Every platform, it's the top algorithm of what they want are videos and live videos. So I'm like, I want you to use it. And I know it's like the scariest thing for most people. So that's why
it is.
Right? That's why I do so much free stuff around this. People are like, you give away so much stuff. I'm like, yeah, because I want you to use it. I want you to actually get on video. And I know the barriers that happen for you to why you're not getting on video. So go to videoactionguide.com, get my 9 Steps to Rock Your Videos, and start there. And my challenge is create a video, because just one video, it can be an Insta story. It can be a static video that you put on Facebook. It can be an Instagram live or Facebook live. Choose your video. Doesn't matter your platform. But my challenge is to just create one video, because what this will do is this will get you out of your comfort zone. Immediately, trust me, right? We know it gets you out of your comfort zone. So the whole point is, this whole conversation today has been about facing your fears and moving outside your comfort zone. So how do you do it? Create a video. Do it. Like I challenge you. Just do it, right? Create a video. All your fears are going to come up, all your doubts. Have someone hold your hand. Have your best friend be accountable. Be like, I'm going to do this video today. Have your coach, whatever it is, someone help you be accountable, and then tag me in it. Tag Karen and I in your video so we can cheer you on.
Absolutely.
That's amazing.
And I find, for those of you that are scared, what's very interesting that I have found in my own business is if I try to pre-record something, not when I'm doing a video cast because it's being recorded as we're talking, but if I'm trying to like pre-record something for one of my groups or one of my programs, I did one the other day, and it was just going to be for like a Facebook ad that I was doing. I'm not kidding you. I did something like 60 takes on it, maybe more. And I still wasn't happy with it. When I do live Facebook, I'm on, and for some reason I can talk so much better when I'm doing these kind of video casts and I'm recording as we're talking, or I'm doing a live Facebook. They always turn out so much better. So now I just do them live, and then I just record, and then I use that as my ad.
Awesome. That's so smart. It's so smart. Yeah,
So
it's
there,
great.
it's less scary to do a Facebook Live actually, or it works out better to do a Facebook Live.
I totally agree, but
Maybe because there's more adrenaline, I think, like that
I
you're
think
just
so.
like,
Totally. It is. It's so fun. But I get it. People palms get sweaty when they think about lives. So it's like just start where you're at. Whatever you can do is good.
and where can people find you if they want, if
Oh,
they're interested in doing the business coaching?
oh yeah, yeah. So you can email me. Just email info@arianealexander.com, and you spell my name Arriane Alexander, Alexander. So just email info@arianealexander.com if you want more information about how to work with me in a one-on-one basis, or my groups or anything. Just, reach out. I mean, my assistant will pass along every email, and I can personally respond back to you and see how I can support you. Because yeah, I take on a small number of VIP one-on-one clients each year, and so if that's what you're interested in, then that's amazing too. And
Awesome.
then on social media, I'm super active on Instagram and Facebook. Those are my two platforms, and it's just my name at Ariane Alexander on both Facebook and Instagram. So be sure to follow me there. And Instagram's super fun because I do Insta stories all the time, and I give you tons of video tips and business tips on both Facebook and Instagram.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And I will link to all of these things in the show notes so you can just look underneath this and you will see it all and you can jump in and start following her.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for this amazing, empowering conversation.
You're so welcome. And I just want to add too, when you start following me on the platforms, be sure to tell me that you heard me on this podcast or, this summit, because that's always fun. I like to
Yes.
see, where you came from. So tell me that you heard me with Karen today. So that'd be awesome.
Yes, I like that too, actually. That's a good, I
Yeah.
should say that more often. Tell me where you come from.
Yeah. I love that. I love it. So
All
fun.
right. So
Hey,
thank you
yeah.
so much.
You're
And
so
we'll probably
welcome.
talk to you soon.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Karen.